me, why does it take you so long to get your motorcycle projects done? For example, the CR500 Project Street Racer that I've been working on, I've been pushing that one for about 2.5 years now. And the big reason is because I'm not a rich man. I'm a small business owner. And what that tells you is there's two things that I'm short on: money and time. I'm constantly working all the time, and I have to pay the business to keep the business alive. I got to pay the people that work for me. I have to pay the rent. I have to pay the utilities. I got to keep the store open, advertising, insurance, you name it. And it's expensive. Some weeks you don't bring home a paycheck. Other weeks, sometimes you bring home a big fat one. So it's really one of those tough things to balance, and because of that, when it comes to owning a business, especially a small one in this economy, you don't have shit. When it comes to me building bikes, I often look for a good deal. I like to get things for next to nothing or as close to nothing as possible. And if you go into a dealership or you're trying to buy parts outright or even looking on eBay, it's really hard to find a deal sometimes. But me, I'll wait. I don't mind waiting. I've got a lot of projects, so there's always something for me to work on that'll keep me busy until I find the next big part for the next big project. But here's one such example. This SV650 was something I was looking for a little while. I wanted a nice skinny frame sport bike for mounting a CR500 motor into, which is what this guy is. But anyway, it didn't work out for what I was building. I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't satisfied. So when the next big thing came along, which was an SV650 motor, which is that very engine that you see in there, popped up on eBay for $186, I grabbed it. The old motor that was in there, I sold it. So between those two parts, the bike itself and the new motor, I've got about $386 invested. It took a lot of cleanup work to get the bike to what it looks like now. It was really, really mangled and really messed up. I don't have a lot of money into it otherwise. The only things that I bought from a retail shop was the actual fabric for recovering the seat. Everything else was all trade-outs. The fairing, for example, here's another good deal from eBay. Those suckers that you see on there, you find them anywhere from like $20, $30, all the way up to $100. I would never pay $100 for something like that. Even $20 seemed a little bit high. So I waited until I found one on eBay. It popped up for about $5. There it is. Take these forks, for example. These Gixxer Forks are about to go on the front of this SV650. There was a lot of little weird parts that it took to get this thing put together. For example, the triple trees that are on there are actually from a Gixxer S-Rad from the late 90s. And those are almost a direct bolt-on onto the SV650 first generation model. But those, I waited on eBay for them for a couple months, probably about 6 months. Saw a set pop up for $9. $9. So I got them ordered, I got them set up, here they are. The front axle, also an S-Rad part. The S-Rad triple trees are a little bit wider, so I had to get the wider axle for the bottom of it. So I waited on eBay again for that. Just popped up the other day, grabbed it, $7. And you might say, okay, that's a pretty good deal. But you want to know the best deal of all? These gold fork legs. I did some computer work for a buddy of mine. And when it comes to a lot of my friends, I don't charge them a lot of money, if I charge them any money at all. And after doing some work for him, I gave him a bill. Didn't expect him to pay it. And he let me go ahead and raid his parts boxes. And I found two nice forks. What did the forks cost me? Nothing. Those were free. Free. The other four-letter F word. So that's all going to go on there. Total cost invested in that at this point, $16. I got a wheel that's on the way. The front wheel with tire, mounted, ready to go, balanced. It's a nice straight wheel, $50. That'll be here soon. I'm looking for a set of rotors for it. A buddy of mine still has a set of brakes, and I'm looking for some clip-ons. So the total cost invested in this thing is probably going to be just about $100, maybe a little bit less than $100. And this is all going to go on the SV650 coming up in the next, hopefully in the next couple weeks, unless for some reason I get hung up on finding a couple of the parts to it. But that's what it's all about. You try to save some money, you try to get yourself a good deal, and you just keep watching the parts until you find something nice. Now, just because I'm getting a good deal doesn't mean I don't give somebody else a good deal. If there's stuff that I don't use that somebody else might be interested in, I'll pass it forward, or pay it forward, as they say, to help somebody else out and not expect anything in return. And hopefully they'll take care of the next guy. My CR450 frame here, that has my CR500 motor in it. The cost on that was nothing. Again, buddy owed me a favor. I helped him out with his website. Really, really nice guy. When we worked out the balances and what everything cost, he told me what the frame cost, I told him what my bill was, and we just swapped. So I took a frame home. So again, it cost me nothing. Absolutely nothing. I've got a lot of good deals along the way, and a lot of great people have taken care of me to help me out with a lot of my projects, and that's just one such example. And if you constantly hunt around for deals and you're willing to bargain and you don't mind waiting for a little while, you too can find a good deal, and you can get parts or whole bikes sometimes for absolutely nothing. And in some cases, they'll even pay you to take them away. You really have to hunt for them, but you'll find them. They're out there. Take my CR500 Project Street Racer into an example here for the same savings that I've done. The frame, $35. All the welding that it took to get the CR500 motor mounted in there, free, because a buddy owed me a favor. The rear shock, watched for that on eBay. I ended up getting it for, I want to say like $30 with shipping on it. The F2, CBR F2 rear wheel with the disc on it, free. It also included the sprocket that's on the other side here, the cush drive, and the sprocket carrier. The rear swing arm. The CR125 parts, I was watching them, CR250 parts for this frame. I found them on the eBay, and I was watching them for a little while, and they were going for $100 plus. Well, I discovered the CR125 is the identical part. This one came with all the linkage to it, all the bolts, all the hardware. I ended up getting it for like $30. Really cheap. This sucker, the tail, the rear subframe here, this was a little expensive. Again, it's the same part on the CR250 as a 125. I saw the 250s going for about $100 plus. The 125 came up. I paid $50 for that one. That was a little higher than some of the other parts, but it was a really good deal compared to the rest. Front wheel, $50. That wasn't too bad. It's a CBR F3 front wheel. The Blackbird discs on there I paid a little bit for also. They were a little bit more expensive because they were harder to find, but again, $60. I don't think that was too bad. The brakes, the front end suspension, the front triple trees, clip-ons, switches, brakes, everything in the front end here, minus the front wheel. I got the whole front end clip for about $200, so that was, again, pretty good. Probably could have done a little bit better, but that was pretty good for what I had. It was like brand new at the time that I got it. I think it was off an 07 Gixxer, and I got that about 2 years ago. So it came off a brand new bike that had nothing wrong with it. It's probably upgraded to Olin's or something, but nonetheless, that's what I got. Again, cheap. The tires that are on this bike, these brand new Bridgestone tires that are on here, they cost me absolutely nothing. Again, I did some computer service for another one of my friends, and he put the tires on, installed them, and got them for me special order for free. So I got tires at no cost. So this is one of those bikes that, it's not costing you a whole heck of a lot. It takes you a lot of time to put it together, but if you don't mind the weight, and you've got a lot of other things to work on at the same time as I do, then get yourself a good deal. Watch the eBay, talk to your friends, talk to people, talk to a lot of the people on some of the forums or message boards, and see if they can either hook you up with stuff that you need, or see if you can help them out somehow. Constantly pay it forward. There's a lot of parts that I don't need. There's, for example, a whole box full of ZX14 parts over there. A friend of mine gave them to me. They have no use to me. I'm probably going to give them away to somebody that needs them.